Hello and welcome. Welcome to Business Essentials for Massage Therapists. My name is Jodi and I am your business mentor, your massage business mentor. I am so excited to be with you today. This is one of my favorite things. I love teaching the core curriculum, the MBLEx review course. Many of you know me from that platform, and I am excited to announce that I am now offering continuing education in the line of business. Now, of course, can't help myself. We'll be talking about body work now and then as far as technique, especially if you have specific questions. But the intention of the course that is being launched, the course you're here to learn about, the CE course, is Business Essentials. I have been a licensed massage therapist for 30 years. I have made a lot of mistakes, and I am here to help you avoid those mistakes. I was mentoring with a colleague earlier and was saying, oh, so many mistakes, so many mistakes that I've made. And I'll share one with you that if this is the only thing you take away from this seminar, it'll be worth its weight in gold. Early on in my massage career, I had a lawyer approach me, and the lawyer wanted to barter. He said, hey, I like getting massages. You need a lawyer? And I was like, what do I need a lawyer for? Well, he then explained to me why I needed a lawyer. My business had grown. I had several people working for me, and there are certain legal things. He was a business lawyer. And so registering my company, doing the articles of incorporation, there were all sorts of things I had never even heard of. So I said, yes. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I don't know. So let's do this. Well, what I didn't clarify was that we were bartering dollar for dollar. My rates were $70 an hour. His rates were $300 an hour. So for every 1 hour that he worked, I owed him like 3.5 massages. Not so good. Not so good for me. So it took me almost a year to get up the courage to say, this isn't fair. We need to start trading 1 hour for 1 hour. And I was so worried because I liked him. He'd been my lawyer for a couple of years, 3, 4 years now. But there was this feeling inside of me that I was being taken advantage of because I was naive. Well, when I proposed to the lawyer, not proposed like marriage, but when I suggested to the lawyer that we needed to change our arrangement, he stopped coming in. I was like, huh? Yeah, he stopped coming in. At first, he said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think trading hour for hour is a good idea. And I said, okay, then let's go to plan B, which is I'll just pay for services, for legal services. Then I'll just pay you for legal services and you pay me for massage. To that, he agreed. And I didn't see him again as a client. So did he really value the sessions? I'm sure he did at the time, but not enough to pay for them. And these are lessons that I've learned in launching my massage practice that I want to share with you. I want to give you a perspective on some of these stories, some of these lessons that I've learned. So now when I mentor, when I do small group business mentoring, I make sure that you understand it is really best to barter hour for hour, not dollar for dollar. So these are some of the life lessons I want to bring forward with you. And I want to do so in a really structured way. So the classes are approved by the National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork for credits. So you're actually getting credits for your continuing education by taking my business classes. So what does it look like? What are we going to be talking about? Let me show you. I'm calling this program the Massage Business Mentoring Program, a year of mastery. You don't have to spend a whole year with me. You don't have to go to every class. These are classes that stand alone. And in that first year of your massage practice, it's kind of like, okay, what's going on? How do I get my state license? What if I live in a state where I'm really close to the border and I want to work in Florida and in Georgia? Or I want to work in Colorado and in Utah? What do I do then? Do I need a license for both states? So all of these questions come up as you start to practice. So finding your way to your license, making sure that you've taken your jurisprudence test, if that applies in your state. And really, now it gets real. It actually gets real in that you got to do all these things to now start making money. Yeah, crazy, huh? I know. So pictured here in this slide, in case you're listening to me later, is a networking group, is a calculator, is seated massage, is a woman just with a help sign, and a woman wearing a bunch of hats. What in the world? Why do we have a slide with women wearing a bunch of hats? That's because now that you are a licensed massage therapist, you wear a bunch of hats. You are a massage therapist. You are going to be doing massage, but that is only one part of your role. So even if you go and work for someone else, for a franchise, for a spa, for a hotel, in your everyday conversation, your friends and family are going to reveal to the public that you are a licensed massage therapist. So yeah, you can show up, punch the clock, do your work, punch the clock, and go home. Absolutely. That is called that's production, right? So you're doing something. You're actually doing massages. And I'm going to refer to a book called the E like entrepreneur, E like elephant, the E myth. It's a book by Michael Gerber. And he says that as soon as you are a legal beagle, as soon as you are ready to practice, that you now have 3 jobs. What? Wait a minute. I don't even have 1 job. You do. As soon as you become a licensed massage therapist, you can go to work for someone else and you are working for yourself. So at a franchise or at a spa, at a hotel, you're considered an employee. But when you work on your own, you are considered a sole proprietor. Yeah, you learned this for the MBLEx, remember? Yeah. So as a sole proprietor, you wear many hats. And the first hat that you'll recognize is your hat as a massage therapist. And when people recommend you, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your colleague, a schoolmate, they are recommending you as a massage therapist, as someone who is professional and talented. And you may end up seeing people at their home. It's one of the things that may happen, or at your home. Some of you have told me you are going to see people at your home. Now, make sure that it's legal. in your county to do that. In some places, you need a dedicated space or just a room. It doesn't always have to be dedicated. Sometimes it's just a room without a bed. Thank you, South Carolina. Um, but sometimes you need designated space, Florida. Uh, so find out the rules and the laws in your county, in your state, but you are going to be maybe seeing friends and family at your home. And because you're licensed, you are now paid. And what are you going to charge? So in the chat, I would love for you to tell me. I'm going to see if I can. Oh, I can't call it my chat. Oh, yeah, I can. So tell me here, what are you paying? What are you charging? If somebody is saying, oh, could you see me at my house? Oh, can I come and see you at your house? What are you charging? This is why that feeling that you're having right now, that like, ooh, what am I going to charge? That feeling that you're having right now. Yeah. It's the feeling like, oh, I don't know. $60? Am I going to be charging $75? Am I going to be charging $100? Well, what does everybody else charge? And you know what? That's why we're doing small group business mentoring, so that you have other people in your shoes, people who are just like you, getting started with their career or looking to jumpstart their career. Yeah. And so I'm here to facilitate that group and to offer these stories, this wisdom over the last 30 years of some suggestions on best practices. But I mentioned earlier the book, The E-Myth, Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth. And he had said you have 3 jobs now. 3 jobs. Well, look at our screen. Technician, manager, and entrepreneur owner. So we've talked about you as the technician. You are the person who is doing massage. If you're dual licensed, you'll be doing massage and aesthetics. You're the technician. You're producing the work. You are doing the seated massage. That's in the hat that you wear. That's a technician. But the second role that you play is as a manager. And you say, Jodi, I don't want to manage anybody. You are managing yourself. Yeah, you're managing yourself. Oh, I'm a grown-up. I can manage myself. Well, you've got a whole new area of your life, your professional life, to manage. And that translates into what we call operations of your business, the operations. So as the manager of your business, of the manager of you, you are responsible for how your business operates. What do I mean by that? Well, do you have specific hours? Hours that you do massage? What are your rates? I mentioned, I asked the question earlier, what are you charging? Those feelings of uncertainty are why I'm here. I am here to be your sounding board. I am here to bounce ideas off of, to give you what I did, to help you do research as to best practices in your town, in your zip code, and to show you how that's done. One of the things I wanted to share with you today is, how do you set your rates? You know what you do? You Google three words: massage, therapy, and your zip code. So massage, I was Googling it right now, Massage therapy 34114. Massage therapy 90210. Wherever you are, massage therapy and your zip code. Watch what comes up in the Google search. Now, this example of this Google search is one of probably 1,000 of things that I'm going to be teaching you in the small group business mentoring classes, because I want you to have the tools. And of course, it's going to be awesome to get continuing education credit for learning these business tools. But back to how to set your rates. Google massage therapy and your zip code and see what comes up. You're going to need, fair warning, you're going to need about 15 to 20 minutes to do this task, to find out what everybody else is charging. And to be honest, you don't need to know what everybody else is charging. You just need to know the highest and the lowest. And then decide, where do you want to be, right? Do you want volume, so you're going to set a low price? Or do you want to be in the middle? Because it's your first year, or it's a kickstart year. It's your first year back. It's your kickstart year, and you want to kind of kickstart this practice. These are the guidelines that you use to set appropriate rates. Now, when we talk about rates, this is, again, a managerial decision, right? Operations. We're wearing the operations hat now. So with these managerial decisions, we also have to decide, how are we going to take payment? Yeah. Are you going to accept credit cards? Are you going to do only cash, check, Venmo? However they want to pay? Well, it takes a minute to get set up. Much, much, much easier now today than it's ever been to take electronic payments. And it doesn't have to be credit cards. It can be Venmo. It can be Zelle. If you're not familiar with these electronic payments, that's also what we're covering in class. Yeah. So what are your options? How do you get it set up? You're a little nervous about using PayPal. I get it. How does Square work? I'll show you. Yeah. So this is getting that solid foundation for you in your practice, so that we don't have the moments of, or that the moments of, uh-oh, do I do seated massage? I guess I do. Sure. Oh, you're going to pay me that much money? Okay. And you have a system. You have a plan. You know when to say yes and when to say no. So very simply, you have 3 hats to wear. We've talked about 2. Production, operations, and then there's this category of entrepreneur, sole proprietor. And the entrepreneur ends up, whether they want to or not, they end up doing some marketing. They end up doing some PR. So PR and marketing are a little different. Public relations is PR. And public relations is usually done through social media. These days, it's done through social media. Marketing is those grassroots efforts that you make to stay in touch with your clients and to find new clients. And this is a distinction we'll be making in class 2. You, as the entrepreneur, end up doing marketing. We can make it super easy. We have a little checklist. We have a long checklist that we go through. What type of marketing works for you? And we come from the heart. We come from a place of integrity, and we stretch a little. Because guess what? If you're not stretching, you're not growing. And so I am going to give you opportunities to stretch your comfort zone. One example of these opportunities is a networking group or an event at the Chamber of Commerce. How many of you have ever been to a networking group or been a guest or maybe there as a member, or you've been to a Chamber of Commerce? How many of you would rather go to the dentist than to a Chamber of Commerce event? Massage therapists are notoriously introverted. Really good one-to-one. But the idea of one-to-many, oh no, please. Public speaking, oh no, please. Well, guess what? As a licensed massage therapist, we together can put together a short script of how you talk to people about your massage practice. It's called an elevator speech. The idea is if you were just riding up the elevator in a tall building, in a public building, and someone actually were to speak to you, say, hey, what do? You have an answer. And it's the same answer every time. This elevator speech, even though nobody ever talks in the elevator, this elevator speech is what we use at events. And so together we craft that. Together we make it an authentic statement so that you can show up with an index card with your elevator speech written on the index card. PR, marketing can be that easy. When's the last time you sent someone a birthday card? When's the last time you got a birthday card? Think about the last time you got a birthday card. How did it feel? Even if somebody handed it to you, you didn't get it in the mail, but somebody gave you a card. Was that nice? It's kind of nice, right? It's human nature that when someone takes the time to sign a card, one sentence, happy birthday, hope it's a great day, put it in an envelope, seal the envelope, and then either mail it or hand it to you, that's an exchange of energy. Yeah, it's an exchange of energy. And sending birthday cards is a beautiful thing to do for your clients. They're going to fill out the health intake sheet. You're going to have their birthday. So part of what we do is we take your marketing birthday cards, that's just being nice, right? But it's marketing because we're going to tell them they get $10 off their massage for bringing that card in. But we're going to take that marketing and we're going to put it into operations and make it a system. And I'm going to show you how to do that in the small group business mentoring classes. How to organize your data. So on the first of the month, you can push a button and out spits labels with all of your clients who have birthdays that month. We got to a point in my office where we were sending 125 birthday cards. Yeah, I mentioned I've been a massage therapist for quite some time, but in 1996, I opened a massage clinic. I grew that clinic to having 20 employees, open 7 days a week, and we were seeing over 100 people a week. Yeah. Some therapists were part-time, some were full-time, 3 administrative staff. Lovely practice, made a lovely big difference in the world. But we needed a system for those birthday cards, right? Yeah, we needed a system for those birthday cards. And we did. I ended up ordering postcards from a service called Vistaprint. We had them pre-printed, and whoever their massage therapist was just signed the bottom, maybe put a smiley face. Before we would send those, so the administrative people would stamp them all, label them all. Then the therapist would put a little smiley face in a note. And then I would look for them right before they left for the post office. And I would find the people I knew personally, and I would put my happy birthday on there too. Remarkable how much people appreciated that. And that example of sending birthday postcards or sending birthday cards is an example of taking some marketing and making it a system. So putting it into operations so that you don't have to scramble every month to find out, okay, let me look through all of my intake sheets and see whose birthday it is in December. That takes way too much time. I did it. It takes way too much time. So part of what you'll learn in the small business, the business mentoring classes, small group business mentoring classes, is how to find your true voice by choosing marketing that works for you, that makes sense to you, and then creating a system. Because what you are going to realize, if you haven't already, is that once you get your license to practice massage therapy, you now have 3 jobs. Yes, you're a massage therapist, but you also have to acknowledge your policies and procedures. You have to play in the operations, the manager of you role. And you got to figure out your spiel. You got to have some business cards. You got to do a little PR. And you might be reluctant, right? Like somebody says, oh, I heard you're a licensed massage therapist. Yep. Where do you work? In town. No, 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 no. Let's get you prepared to comfortably and confidently talk about your profession and invite people to become a client, people who you want to become a client. So I've talked a little bit about the curriculum, and we are going to be getting into just a deeper body of knowledge about operations, about marketing, about PR, about best practices as a massage therapist. This is a group that's coming together, small group, limited capacity, because we're all going to be sharing with each other at certain parts of the class. I'll be asking for feedback specifically on implementing your homework, on moving forward with the lessons that we're teaching, to give you a bigger body of knowledge. It'll offer you smoother operations in your private practice and in your public practice. So I encourage you to go to work for somebody, a good somebody who pays you. And we'll be talking about what should you be paid. Yeah, this is a community where you can come back and say, hey, I got a job offer and it was $12 an hour. You know, there are some clinics in the South of the United States who pay $12 an hour. That's not where you belong. But how do you know? You got this community to come back to and say, hey, is this right? That's the deeper body of knowledge, because you have my knowledge and then you have the collective knowledge of what everyone else is doing. And that's proof over promise. That's proof of what's going on in the massage therapy profession. So we've talked about a deeper body of knowledge, smooth operations. I'm going to show you the first 90 days of the curriculum, but I wanted to talk also about I'll talk about it when we see the slide on curriculum. Smooth operations leads also to excellent marketing, and you do not have to be active on social media for your massage business. But you do have to acknowledge that social media exists, and whatever you're putting up on social media, your future client may be able to see. So smooth operations and understanding of how to promote yourself leads to excellent marketing, consistent marketing. You know the biggest trick in marketing? Here's the big secret. Consistency. I want to be your accountability buddy. over the next 12 months, 24 months, 60 months. I want to be your accountability buddy that you are consistently marketing. However you choose to do that, whether it's face-to-face or online, that you're simply consistent with it. I'm here to tell you, it's a challenge. Consistently marketing, that's why one of the first things we start with is an annual marketing plan. Ooh, oh no, I said it, an annual marketing plan. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could ever like figure out what to do for marketing for 12 months. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this webinar, because I know what to do. In all the business mentoring that I've done, and it's been since 2008, I've been coaching and mentoring. So for the last 16 years, I've been coaching and mentoring small business massage therapists. So people under $500,000 in revenue. That's my sweet spot. Getting you profitable, getting an individual therapist to $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year, getting a multi-therapist clinic over the $100,000 mark, to the $250,000 mark, to the $500,000 mark. And if those numbers seem crazy, I know. But for 14 years, I've been doing this. And I can tell you for sure that the most excellent marketing is with consistency. And that's it. And with that annual marketing plan, let me give you an example. It was mentoring with a lovely woman, multi-therapist clinic in the Washington, D.C. area. And in February, we were all excited for gift certificate season for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day isn't a huge gift certificate season, but it's a good one. But what I told her was we start planning now for Mother's Day. And because she had an accountability buddy, because she had me as her mentor, as her coach, she had more gift certificate sales on Mother's Day than she had ever had before. Mother's Day is one of the best. Christmas and Mother's Day. Black Friday, Christmas, Mother's Day. You know, the holiday season and Mother's Day. But without a coach, without a mentor, it could be like another client I had. This one also outside the DC area. And she had decided to take a break from mentoring. And on May 1st, I sent her an email and said, hey, just a reminder, Mother's Day is around the corner. And you know what she said to me? Oh my goodness, Mother's Day snuck up on me. Mother's Day is the second Sunday of May for the next 100 years, or let's say at least in our lifetime, right? Mother's Day. It's not going anywhere. It's the second Sunday of May. And lots of husbands, lots of fathers, lots of grandfathers feel as though they need to get something for the mother of their children or the mother of their grandchildren. They need to get them a gift, flowers, chocolate, spa day. Let them buy a gift certificate from you. But without marketing, nobody knows you exist. So in our small group, business mentoring, we'll prepare for the big holidays. We'll get you set up to take gift certificates if you want to. But those are things that I had to figure out myself the hard way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, now there's so many options. Do you sell online? Do you sell hard copies? Do you sell gift cards, the little plastic cards? Do you print gift certificates? No, don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it in November in our small group business consulting. And what this leads to, as you can see, this final block on the slide, It leads to a full practice. It leads to you being as busy as you want to be. So what are we specifically going to cover? Let's take a look. These are strategic building blocks. Strategic building blocks for your practice. And this is after, like I've said, over a decade of coaching and mentoring therapists who right where you are, either brand new or experienced in business and stuck. I'm here for it. Yeah. So what we're going to cover, this is, so October is going to kick us off, and we're going to meet twice in October, and we're going to create your schedule. We're going to create the basic policies for you. There's going to be forms that you're given to customize or to just use as they are as a template for your clients. You will be reminded that it is essential to have your clients fill out a health intake form. Just got to do it. It takes extra time. Every time you have a new client, you will be spending extra time on that health intake form. But we'll talk about these basic policies, a cancellation policy. What happens if they cancel an hour before their appointment? Do they get charged? Do you have a policy that says, okay, you can cancel in under 24 hours one time, and then you're going to get charged a cancellation fee? What's your cancellation fee? Ooh, yeah. Little nitty-gritty stuff that you haven't had a chance to maybe think about yet. Or the answer is sometimes when I talk with new coaching clients, they're like, well, it depends. Have they ever canceled before? It doesn't depend. You have a policy. We have a written policy on cancellation. If they cancel less than 24 hours, what's the penalty? Do you forgive it once, but you let them know? Oh, okay, hey, just as a, and where do they sign off on the policy? Mine was on the health intake sheet. So they'd fill out their health intake sheet. At the bottom of the health intake sheet says, hey, by the way, we have a 24-hour cancellation policy. And when I did my initial intake with them, I'd be like, hey, did you see this thing about the 24-hour cancellation policy? You good with that? Awesome. Just want to make sure you knew you signed it. Did you feel my energy around that policy? Hey, did you see that? Just want to make sure you knew you signed it. Lighthearted. Instead of, hey, we have a 24-hour cancellation policy, just so you know, we're going to need to keep a credit card on file because if you no-show or you cancel within 24 hours, you will be charged in full. That feels really different, doesn't it? Yeah, but both are okay. One is better for you, and that's where you get to decide what feels good for you. And that's why we create the basic policies. And in our very first class, actually in our first two classes, we talk about probably the most important thing that you can be doing as a massage therapist. And let me tell you, it's made many a massage therapist cry. Yes, I said cry. When we role play rescheduling a client. We role play. We say it out loud. It is so easy to do once you know what you're saying. And I have a script for you. Yeah. And you can make that script your own. Sure. But we're going to start with the script. Guess what else you're going to be doing? You're going to be changing your voicemail on your cell phone. What a thought. Now, if you don't like how you sound, or you don't feel like you want to leave a personalized message, yes, you can default to the electronic message. But guess what? Most likely your cell phone is where new clients are going to be calling. And we'll talk about the ethics of that. and whether you need a second phone for your business. But we'll address this. Also, in the first month, we talk about tipping. And we get nitty-gritty on tipping. You're also going to role play the phrase when someone says, oh, can I add a gratuity? Or at that kind of spot where they're checking out. And they say, oh, where do I add the tip? And you say, hey, you know what? Tipping is appreciated, but not expected. Oh, how does that resonate with you? In school, in some massage schools, they talk a lot about tipping. I charge enough that I don't expect a tip. I charge $125 for a 60-minute session. Yep. Some people insist on tipping. With my new clients, I tell them there's no gratuity expected. This is the flat rate. It's $125. You don't need to add anything. But depending on your client's experience with massage, they may have been at a salon. They may have been at a spa. They may have been on a cruise ship where tipping is expected. Hear me. We're going to be talking about this in depth. Tipping is appreciated, not expected. Think about that as far as just your point of view, because in many franchises, there's a culture of the therapists are disappointed if they don't get tipped. Let's just talk about it. And neither is right or wrong. Neither is good or bad. But we want to be clear on your policy on it. Yeah, we want to be clear of where you're coming from. Would you like to have a gratuity? Or would you like to charge enough where you don't expect a gratuity? Or get paid enough? Yeah, we'll have a healthy discussion around that. In November, we move into getting prepared for the holiday season. So we're going to be looking at your budget. Yeah, we're going to be looking at the principles of getting grounded, because during the holiday season, it's a whirl, right? Parties and clients and gifts and dinners and So how do we stay grounded? We're going to learn a little bit, just a little bit about mindfulness meditation, how to leave our stuff at the door when we are going in to see a client. Maybe it's been a rock'em sock'em day and you got 3 clients. How do you transition from the morning or the before your clients to being mentally present with your clients? I'll tell you the truth, and you're probably experiencing this right now when you see clients. See, doing a massage is actually awesome because you have nothing else to do other than that massage. Yeah. And so at least you know what you're concentrating on. Right? All right. So we'll also, in a confidential, all of your personal information will stay confidential. We won't be sharing names and numbers, but we are going to be getting clear about how much you owe right now, minus your mortgage. But I'll have a worksheet for you where you're going to write out all the debt. Ooh, that's too personal. Yep, it sure is personal. I don't want to know your numbers, but I want you to know your numbers. Time to get real. You are now a licensed massage therapist. You now have another stream of income. Let's make it work for you. Let's talk about savings and how to get a savings account. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we have a little homework from each of our sessions. One is to read a really short book. The other is to build a personal budget. But I have templates for you on all of this. And finally, in the first 90 days, this time around, our third month, the 60 to 90 days is in the month of December. And we're going to be talking about self-care. We're going to be talking about your gift certificates. And are you selling them or are you not? And if so, is that set up and ready to go? Yeah. And look, if that's beyond what you can wrap your head around right now, that is fine. But you're going to get asked. And so we're going to have a script for the answer. We're going to have a script for the answer. There was one, well, I won't tell you about that right now, but let's just say that a lot of money gets spent on gift cards and gift certificates. This is a big exchange of energy. And I'm going to invite you to be a part of that exchange of energy in the months of November and December. And we're going to review, how is your rebooking? Is your rebooking up almost at, like, I would say 80%, really where it needs to be, around 80%, that you're rebooking 8 out of 10 of your clients. What about, your schedule? Is that working for you? We're going to set a schedule in our very first month together. Yeah, got to set a schedule. Having a schedule sets you free. If you tell me that you're just going to work anytime you can get a client, you will be running around like a chicken with your head cut off within a month, going hither and yon, saying yes to everybody. It's not what we do. It's not what I want for you. Anyhow, all right. Also in December, you're going to open a savings account. Yes, if not before, because with the Christmas holiday, gift certificate sales, that money all goes into a savings account. Your gift certificate money goes into savings, not into checking. Yep. Because what gift certificates are is really unrealized income, unearned income. And so we've got to set it aside. And that way, when a client comes in and says, oh, I'd like to redeem my gift certificate. So in January, you get 5 calls from 5 people who got gift certificates. Well, you now need to see them for a massage. Well, if you've already spent that money, then you're using the time in January that you would have been producing income, and now you're not getting paid for it. Oh, but you did get paid for it, but it was unearned income at the time. That's why all gift certificate money goes into savings. So we're nearing the approach of the end of this class. And I wanted to share with you the first 90 days of curriculum. It's really rich stuff. I know just by listening to this webinar that you're going to get something out of it, that you're going to get some wisdom out of this. And I wanted to let you know that the small group business coaching, business mentoring will begin officially on October 15th. Now, once we meet that first time, I'm getting feedback all the time. I'm getting surveys in every day about what days of the week and what times of day will work. But for our launch, I needed to pick a day. And so Tuesday, October 15th at 12 o'clock, that's when we are going to meet. Yeah, that's when we're going to meet for our first official continuing ed. Can you believe you're going to get continuing ed for learning all this business stuff? Bravo. I think that's a pretty brilliant thing. So how much is it going to be? Well, I would like to work with people who are serious about building their practice. I have limited capacity on this class. We are going to limit it to 25 people. So that way we can all interact. Not everybody can make it every time. I'm anticipating 10 to 15 people in class on any given class day. We meet twice a month. And when you register now, before September 30th, it's on the Patreon site. There is a new offering, and that is for small group business mentoring. Now, one-to-one mentoring like this or small group mentoring is sometimes hundreds of dollars. When we do this one-to-one, it's over $200. When we do this as a group, when we do this for a year, sometimes it can be over $2,000 that people are going to invest, over $3,000 that people are going to invest in mentoring programs. Maybe even you have invested in coaching or mentoring before. Well, because you have been a Patreon, because you are a member of this community, because I want to invest in you. I want to see you do well. I want to help you in this first year and beyond. We are going to do the small group business mentoring for just $59 a month. Yep. All the resources, all the access, all the classes, access to the recordings. Just you have access to the recordings, not anybody else. This is not just going to be posted in general for the Patreon community to see. Just you guys will get the business classes. And so the price will increase at the end of the year because I fully expect us to be full before the end of the year. Prices will increase to $99 as of January 1. So some people have different times going on. Some people have different projects going on. Maybe you can't join right away, but do join before the end of the year. Even if you can't make it to all the classes. We will have 6 classes between now and the end of the year. And I would just strongly recommend that take advantage of this time right now to get in at the $59 mark. Many of you have taken advantage of being a part of the Patreon community and getting in on that at a really affordable rate. This price per month, $59, I fully anticipate by this time next year is going to be up probably around $159. But you will be grandfathered in. When you register for this rate, you are going to be grandfathered in for life. Yes. Yes. So that is what happens when you're a part of the grassroots start of something new. You get in at a really good price. So yes, just $59, not $99, not $159, just $59 per month for your CEUs for the small group business mentoring twice a month with me and my esteemed colleagues who are also very excited to share with you best practices from theirs. So lots of awesome surprises starting. I'm going to wrap up the recording and say, please head on over to Patreon. Go ahead and grab this membership level and be ready for October 15th. When you head over there now and go ahead and sign up at that level, you get a bunch of the prep worksheets right now. Yeah, so that you can use the information that you learned from this webinar to get started right away. So you don't have to wait till October 15th. But I encourage you to go on over to the Patreon account, get in at this membership tier, lock it in for a lifetime. Yeah. So goodbye for now. Goodbye for now. We'll see you real soon. And I'm so glad that you took the time to wrap your head around your business, wrap your head about being a licensed massage therapist and what that looks like to be successful. It is my pleasure to offer you stories from the past, lessons that I've learned. My name is Jodi Scholes, and I am your small group business mentor, business mentoring for you, massage therapists. See you soon.